back, folks. This is part 3 of the Shim Sham with me, Adib. If you want to look at parts 1 and 2, I made videos. They should be somewhere. There should be links somewhere. I don't know how it works. Just like last time, I am wearing different colored socks. I have my right is my red sock and my left I'm wearing a blue sock, blue for left. That's to help me illustrate which side is which and for you to be able to follow along correctly. In this video, I'm going to cover one version of each of the moves that we cover. I'm going to go with sort of the most basic, simplest to follow version. And then in part 4, I'm going to look at some variations of these moves along with the moves in parts 1 and 2 also. So we're going to get to it. Move 1 are boogie backs. I'm going to start by facing this way so you can see my posture for this. I want to go for what I think of as my Charleston posture, also my Lindy posture, but to go with bent knees, straight back, and a tilt forward to create this sort of wedge shape. So right here I've got my shoulders over my knees, over my toes. So my back isn't straight back here, I've got this sort of poise forward. So if you were to jump up and land, this is probably roughly where you would land naturally anyway, unless your legs do really strange things. So my first move, like everything else, will start with my weight being on my left, freeing up my right. And what I'm going to do here is take my weight onto my left and kick my right forward. So I'm going to go kick with the right. Bam. Once again, we're in this stance. I want to extend the leg out. So it's an extension rather than a swinging motion. So I don't want to use the muscles in my legs necessarily. What I want to do is start with my leg folded in and extend. That gives me a really clear, sharp sort of A to B. There's a definite ending to that move, whereas if I was swinging the leg, I would need the muscles in my legs to stop myself from continuing past that point. So this makes this a lot sharper and quicker if I just do that extending kick, or that kind of squishing something under your heel. That's the feel. So I'm going to go kick with my right. I'm going to take that into a kickball change. I'm kicking to step, step. Kick to step, step. Let me show you from the side, probably easier to see. Kick, ba, bum. Kick, ba, bum. Kick, ba, bum. So my weight is returning onto my left each time. This is probably the easiest way to follow along. I'm going to go kick, ba, bum, kick, ba, bum, kick, ba, bum, kick, ba, bum. Good. So that's our first move. Those are our boogie backs. Now, what I'm going to add to that is a clap. And the clap is going to coincide with my kick. Clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum. Let me go facing this way. I have a clap, a clap, a clap, a clap. So that's our first move, the boogie backs. The structure of this final part of the Shim Sham is a little bit different to the rest of the Shim Sham. Everything else more or less has this pattern of doing 3 of something, and then the 4th is a different move or a finishing move, or a variation of what you already did. In this final portion, we're going to be alternating moves, so it's a little bit different. So we have an A move, which is our boogie backs. Then we have 2 different moves that bring us forward. Second move we're going to cover is the boogie forward. I'm going to start this at the back of the room because I will have just done these boogie backs to travel myself to the back. So these bring me forward again, unsurprisingly. So I'm going to start with my right foot and I'm going to scoop and step, scoop and step, scoop and step, scoop and step. Again, I'm going to try and cover what I think is the easiest way of doing this, but the key features tend to be that you want to make sure there's a strike or a flick at the beginning. So you've got a flick and step, flick and step, flick and step, flick and step. The other feature typically is that it has this inside out crescent motion. So we've got flick, step, flick, step, flick, step, flick, step. That would be what I think of as the bare bones of that move. You can add a lot of things on in terms of hips either being sharp, bum, 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 or super loosey-goosey, where you're kind of melting into each of those steps. And you can kind of play around with that yourselves. Along with this crescent action and this flick, with the hands I want to add a click. The click is going to coincide with that little strike, that little flick, so we have this flick and click at the same time. And again, the most common version, or the simplest version at least I think, is to go from side to side with the arms. So I'm going to start over here, so that's the left, so if we're facing the same way here, I'm going to want to go flick with my right as my hands go up and to the other side. So flick and land, flick and step, flick and step. And I've got my flick and flick and flick and flick. Both of those moves will end with your weight on your left, allowing you to then initiate the next move, which then starts with your right foot doing something. In this case, if I've just finished my boogie forwards, I'll be on the left, my weight is on the left here, I'm ready to kick and clap into that next move. So that's how those two connect. And then the other way around, after I've done these guys, on my last one, I'm gonna go kick, right, left, weight is on my left, and I can flick to start that. So let's put those two things together. I'll start by facing you. We have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Ba-bum. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Again. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. So we're gonna go clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, forward, 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 clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, forward, 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 forward. So that's the first half of that final section. That second half will start with that same boogie back, but instead of having the boogie forwards traveling us forward, we're going to introduce our final move, which is the Shorty George. We have gone A, B, A, B. Now we're going A, C, A, C is how I like to think of that. We're going to start on a boogie back again. So this is second part of this. So we've got the bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Yeah? Same as before. Now, where that puts us is once again, weight on the left and right is ready to travel or to move. And in this case, we're going to do another kick. And this time, instead of the kick being forward, the kick is out to my side. I'm going to kick to the side. Again, same as the boogie back, same as that kickball change. I want to make sure it's an A to B extension. Yeah, this time to the side, but still an extension rather than some kind of swinging kick. So I want to go kick, nice and sharp, make sure there's an ending to that kick. And then I'm going to take that foot, I'm going to place it behind, and I'm going to go step, step. So it's technically another kickball change, but the positioning is very different. So I'm going to go kick, step, step. And what I'm looking for in that step, step is to align my feet like I'm about to walk on a tightrope. Kick, right, left. At this point, if I show you from the side, I like to keep my heels off the ground. My weight is on the ball of the foot, and I'm going to start with the back foot, which is my right foot here, then the left, then right, then left, then right, then left. Take 6 steps going forward. I'm going to go kick, ba bum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me do that facing you. Kick, ba dum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, it's 6 because the kick, ba bum at the beginning takes up the first 2 beats. So that puts us back on a normal 8 counts of movement. Once again, musically, this is not on 1. It starts on 8, so it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the next thing would be an 8 again. So facing the back this time, I'm gonna start closest to you because I'm gonna travel away from the camera. I'm gonna go kick, ba bum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not actually what the Shorty George ever looks like. There's always a little bit more flair to it. And I like to think of this as maybe the funnest move, certainly the silliest move in the Shim Sham. And I think that's part of the feel and flair of this, is that you want to make it as silly as you can. For you to achieve that, you want to go as low as you can to start with. The more flexible you are and the lower you can go, the more give there is in your knees being able to move. And this is a motion we're going to be looking for in just a second. As we walk forward, we're going to think of stepping and leaning the knees to one side. So they're going to lean to the side of the front foot. So in fact, to start with, I like to go kick, ba, bum, to prepare slightly to my left, and then go right, left, right, left, right, left. And as much as possible, I want my feet to stay in that tightrope walk. So one foot in front of the other, rather than kind of side, side, side. Couple things there technically. I want to make sure my kneecaps are trying their best to face forward. So this is not a twisting action. This is kind of this like skiing action, slalom action, where I'm going side, 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 not twist, twist, twist. I mean, that looks good too. That's just not what the move usually is. Arms. Arms are going to emphasize the wonderful silliness of this move by pointing this way first. So when I kick, my arms and my fingers are going to accompany my foot that way. I'm going to go kick, then I'm going to switch to the other side. Kick, ba, bum. Then I'm going to alternate arms and knees. We have a kick, ba, bum, right, left, right, left, right, left. Like I said before, the lower you go, the more bend there is in your knees, the bigger you can make this move. And the easier this move is, and the less chance of you actually hurting or injuring your knees here. So what I really want to try and get to is to go super low so I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. Once I'm up here, then it really, if I try to get that same range of motion while I'm upright, I'm going to probably end up injuring my knees trying that same thing. So by going lower, that's going to free up the knees. The other thing I want to think of is rolling to the edge of the foot. So I'm really pushing into the outside edges here to not go any further. So again, instead of this becoming a rotation, I don't know if you can see my feet there, instead of this becoming a rotation here, I'm trying to just push into the edge of that foot. That's our Shorty George. In real time, we're going to start it on 8, same as everything else. We're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. So the whole thing put together, boogie backs, boogie forwards, boogie back, boogie forward, boogie back, Shorty George, boogie back, Shorty George. Let's give it a go. 5, 6, 7, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Forward, 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 forward. Clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum, clap, ba-dum. Flick, 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 flick. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Shorty George, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, 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 bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward and back, 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 forward, back, back, back. Shorty George this time. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da. That's the whole thing. Let's try it with music.
I don't care what the whisperers say, 'cause they whisper too loud for me. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Pack up your troubles in your
That's everything, folks. So that's parts 1, 2, and 3 in the books. Look out for part 4, where we will be putting it all together. There's a few things that happen in the first 2 sections with freezes after it repeats. It's a little bit complicated. We're going to leave that for a 4th video, along with a few variations here and there to spice up your Shim Sham. Thank you for the support, everyone. I appreciate everyone who's been watching, who's been supporting, who's been sending me messages. There's a link for my PayPal in the description if you'd like to contribute something to me and my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. So that's goodbye from me, and
Bye, folks.